Tiger, kind of taking it off the course a little bit. You've got two little kids at home, getting older. I'm sure they're keeping you busy now. What does being a dad mean to you?
It's the greatest responsibility that I've ever had. I'm sure as all parents, we're wide-eyed and like, oh my God. And when it first happens, there's no manual. You have to figure it out on the fly and do the best you possibly can and instill the things that our kids are gonna need for life and deal with when we're not around. And it is an amazing responsibility, but one that I have loved and will continue to just enjoy all the special moments I can with my kids.
Absolutely. How important is it for you to have sports in your kids' lives and to participate in sports as they're growing up?
Well, I think just participating in sports, it teaches so many of the life skills you need. Sports is a microcosm of life. You have to deal with the frustrations, the highs, the lows. The most important part is enjoying the pressure of it. Some people thrive in it, some people struggle with it. It's to each his own. But I just think that if a child is able to participate in sports, one, they're going to be more fit. Nowadays, it's hard to get kids to look up in the world. They're looking down at their devices.
Right.
Sports teaches you to look around and be aware of your surroundings at all times. And I think that's fantastic.
And growing up with your dad, what are some of the things that you've drawn on his parenting style or the way you were raised that you kind of instilled in your kids now?
My dad was just the master of planting seeds. He would just say things that you didn't understand at the time. You might figure it out like an hour later, day later, week later, or years later. And, oh, that's what he meant.
Yeah.
He was great at doing that. He was a fantastic leader, great communicator for what he did in special operations. You have to be a force multiplier, so you have to communicate very well, and he was definitely that. And as I said, the seeds that he would plant have helped me not just in the golfing world, but just in life on a daily basis.
Talk a little bit about your mom's influence and what she's meant to you in your life.
My mom was the tough one. My people think that my dad, because he was a special forces operator, that he was the tough one. It was my mom. Yeah. My mom was the tough one. She was disciplinarian of the family, and she's very organized, very regimented. Yes sirs, yes ma'ams, and I learned discipline and commitment from her. Just the everyday dedication to the fine details. That's who she is and that's how she was brought up, and I think she's certainly passed that on to me.